I'm Bethany Anderson of Bethany Heals, and if life's been lifing lately, then you found me just in time. This is a pause, a permission slip to just be. And before we begin, let me remind you, your healing isn't on a timeline. Around here, we don't hustle our healing, we honor it. Trust that your intuition brought you here for a reason. So let's drop into our next archive episode. Hello, loves, and welcome to our next guest archive episode. I am so excited because today we have a dear, dear friend of mine. Her name is Natasha Fabrizi, and Natasha is an identity up-level coach working with spiritual creatives to create their own bespoke version of juicy success. She's also a triple water sign, intuitive AF manifestor, and human design. So I'm so excited to have you on Life.ing.
Hi, I'm so happy to be looking at you right now. You know how everyone's always like, I'm so happy to be here. I was like, how can I jazz that up? And that's the truth. Like, I'm so happy to be looking at your face. It's the best part of my day so far.
I know. When I was thinking about you and just being on the show, I was like, this could go so many ways.
Mm-hmm. For real.
But in the best way possible.
I know, right? I have that sense as well. I'm like, it's like a little bit wild, a little bit choose your own adventure, but I know it will be like heart driven.
Absolutely, always. And, you know, before we kind of dig into everything, just so my favorite guests on here know how we even met. We met actually through a group that we're both in. It's like a financial mentorship group that's tied to astrology, of course. Mm-hmm. And we totally just connected there and just continued to keep in touch with one another. So it's really great that I found you through that space and now we get to create new things together. But I would love to start really by I want to hear just your story. I want to hear everything. So I know that you're an identity up-level coach, but before even stepping into that world, like, who is Natasha Fabrizi? You know, with the work that you do now, like how you stepped into that, like where did that even stem from? Because I want to kind of know the beginnings of like your interest and your passion for that, but also like parts of your life where that kind of ties into this inspiration for what you do now.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, cool. I think that like the first thing that comes to mind is when I was in high school and like girls were fighting with their boyfriends and they'd always be like, what should I say? And I was always like, I'll write your text. Like I just wrote everyone's text. I think I've always had like an interest in communication and connection. So it's funny because when I've like done a very strange plethora of things. I've like been a body piercer. I've been a burlesque dancer. I've worked in hospitality. I've worked for brands like curating their talent and their influencers. So it's like my background's like a motley crew. I also did reality TV, which is an anomaly. So yeah, I think that when I moved from Australia to Toronto, I had this stretch of time when I was waiting for my PR to be like, what is my next move? And you can probably really relate to this. Like, there's something that kind of strips your identity away when you move somewhere new. You're like, whoa, I don't have all of those stories and relationships that informs my identity anymore. And even though that can feel like disorienting, it's also like extremely freeing. So it kind of gave me the permission to be like, okay, well, who do I want to be? Like, what do I actually want to do? And I think as well, moving from a very small coastal sleepy town where everyone knows each other to like a big city where everyone's first words were like, what do you do? And I was like, shit,
oh gosh,
what do I do? Like, what do I actually do? And even though that wouldn't be my first question that I asked someone, I like that it gave me that push into like, well, what do you want to do? And so I've always been spiritual, and I found this little like online, like not very legitimate, like little like soul coaching kind of course thing. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll do it. And then I quickly realized I was like, okay, this is not as structured and legitimate as I would like to sort of take this. So also before this, actually, I just remember I had been told about this life coaching course by a friend. And this is where my like emotional authority as a manifestor in human design comes in, because
wait, can you, for my guests, explain what that is?
Yes, absolutely. Of course, yes. So sorry. So the way I make decisions is through big decisions is through emotional processing. So I'm most in alignment when I'm making decisions, not from up here, not from down there, but in this neutral place. So I'm not on a wave. And so I found out about this coaching course called Beautiful You. And I went on their website and I was like, oh, I hate the graphics. I hate the flowery. I hate the it was so hyper feminine. Yes, go. Say what you want to say.
Oh, no, I was just going to say you're such a creative being. Like, even hearing all of the different like careers that you've done in your life, all I hear is, and like writing your friends' texts, it's like creative is such a big part of your life, creativity. And I was just thinking like, where does that even stem from?
Well, my mum was an art teacher, so probably she was an art and yoga teacher. So yeah, she and my step grandmother, they were both yoga teachers. And it's funny, I actually missed out. I also am a qualified makeup artist. I studied makeup artistry. So again, the creativity, and I'm a qualified yoga teacher because I studied that as well. With those two things, I quickly realized I was like, oh, I just want to do this for myself. Like, I just wanted to be able to do fire makeup, and like, I wanted to be able to do like my morning yoga practice and know what I was doing. So, but that's, I think, where the creativity stems from. I would say my mother, definitely a huge influence. She's an Aquarius. She's very artistic, very out there. We were always doing like crafts, paintings, ceramics, everything. So I will credit that to her 100%. Love you, Mom.
I love that so much.
Yeah, she's so beautiful. She's still doing it. Lino prints, like everything. So. Yes. So yeah, I started stalking Beautiful You, and I was really, I told them in one of, I think, our first like sessions that I had with them, I was like, yeah, I had to really fight to get through your branding because it is in polarity to what draws me in, right? So I
as we're both sitting here wearing all black.
Right? I know. And I'm looking at your, like the red and the green behind you and the wood. And I'm like, I love it. And meanwhile, I'm like trying to hypnotize you with my like little buttons back here. I'm like, is it a magic eye? Is it art? Who knows? But yeah, I saw that they had a scholarship for minorities, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. So I was like, okay, great, I'm gay, I'm going to apply for that. It was a half scholarship. And when I was in Toronto, I was like, okay, I'd stalked them enough, they'd opened their scholarships. I was like, okay, making the decision, I'm going to go for it. Sent the scholarship application, and it was just one of those, I've had a few of these in my life, and when they happen, they're so beautiful and divine. It was one of those moments where I was like, I'm going to get that. I'm 100% like, that is mine. And that is such a nice feeling of certainty. What's coming up for you?
Exactly what you're talking about. This is wild. Okay. Digress. We're going to go on a little side quest
Tangent.
real quick. I recently applied for something that I have not announced yet. But when I put in the application, I immediately thought the same thing. I was like, I'm going. There was no like doubt, no question, nothing. You just know, right? And I actually just found out on the 9th, so like 2 days ago, that I got in.
Congratulations.
I got it. So, yay! Yeah, I'll share more about it later. But I understand that feeling when you just know. It's wild because it's really just calm. You're just like, yep.
I was like, and it's funny. I was, I've had it happen to me. I actually had it happen to me, the same thing with Leo's half scholarship. And I applied for that before I even studied with him. That's how crazy I was. I was like, I know that I want to study hypno, and I sent it off. And then after I did his course, I was like, I think you should have a scholarship application ready for me. He was like, yeah, it's not even open yet, but sure. But same thing. I was like, that is mine. And I think that just speaks to when you're like, the alignment is so strong.
Yeah.
And
Ooh,
the
I just got
intuitions,
chills thinking about that.
I had chills when you were speaking. I was like, oh my God, I don't think I've spoken to someone. Actually, one of my clients has this as well. She's Cancer rising. That real, like, this is mine feeling. So they sent me the thing and they were like, yep, we'd love to have you. I was like, excellent. I went through the course and it was so revelationary because, revelatory, I should say, because I love when you do something and then it's so different. I'd never been coached before. I'd never had a life coach. I thought we'd be, you know, giving advice, that kind of thing. And they were like, the way Beautiful You teaches is you do not give any. You can maybe ask, can I suggest something? Are you open to it? But they are very much, the client is self-led and because they want you to reach the expansion on your own, of your own accord. So it was all learning to hold space, learning to ask reflective questions, learning to active listen, all of that good stuff. And I know this is corny, and I actually don't think I've said this about many things, but it truly changed my life. I was so humbled so many times, especially because I had a lot of narratives come up of like, well, you always study things and you don't do anything with them. And, oh, you're going to start a business. Like, you don't know anything about business. And they didn't teach a lot about business in it so much. It was,
okay.
But I will say it was a thorough, incredible course. It's women founded. It's women led. It was spectacular. Just so you cannot come out of it and not, it sounds like I'm like spruiking for them. I'm not. I'm absolutely not.
But this is really what opened up everything for you. This was the moment that brought it all together. So, I mean, it makes sense that you're so passionate about it.
Yeah. And I don't think I've spoken about it actually kind of ever like this. So yeah, and it also opened me up to the world of coaching and a different part of the wellness industry that I just didn't know about. And especially at a time being new to Toronto and not knowing anyone, having online communities was really like grounding and nourishing and just like, yeah, it was really beautiful. So that's how I got into it. And I was just so determined. I was like, oh, I'm making this work. This is going to work. I'm going to do it. I'm going to have clients. It's going to happen. There was no sort of feeling of, oh, maybe I'll try this out. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You're like, this is it. So wait, where do you see yourself in the world of coaching? And I know you don't like to be put in a box, so I'm not going to. But I would love to hear just like how you see yourself and how you want to show up for your community. What really lights you up when you're working with your clients?
Yeah, that's such a good question. I think recently I've been working with my like dream clients, and that has led me to recognize that when I work with spiritual women who have already done personal development work, so they're not at the entry level. They're like, I've got this awareness. I know where I want to go. I'm just stuck on the how. And they're not 100% sure of what's holding them back, like what limiting beliefs are holding them back, daily habits, like, you know, all the things that come from the limiting beliefs, the behaviors, the habits, the actions that then all compound and block us and keep us stuck and trapped in patterns. So yeah, I love working with women who want to do something spiritual that's going to bring them like wealth and abundance. Like one of my clients started a tarot business from scratch last month. And it's funny because she didn't have a point of reference, but I do, obviously, having started a business. Yeah. She had so many clients so quickly. And I was just like, wow. I kept saying to her, this is not super normal. It's normal for you. Like, it's so normal for you. And I was always really careful. It's her experience. So this is her reality. But I was like, girl, you are so in alignment because it is just happening with so much ease.
I love when
And
things fall into place like that, when you make a decision and then the universe just starts plopping little gifts here and there, just like, yep, you're right.
it's
Yep,
so
you're right. Yep,
beautiful.
keep going. And I'm like,
Yes.
okay. I love having those
Yes.
little confirmative moments because
Yes.
especially when you get into different like phases of your business and maybe it's a slower period or a slower season, it's such a beautiful reminder to reflect upon those moments where you know this is exactly where I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to be doing. And I can take this season that I'm in to work on myself, to work on my business, to do all of these different things to help me get to that next level. But
Yes.
yeah, I love those little nuggets of gold.
Yeah, I love them too. And I think like to what you're saying, we can get so cerebral, I feel, when it is slower and we can be like,
Yeah.
grippy and controlly and be like, where is it? Why isn't, and it's like,
Right? What do I need to
wait,
fix? What do I need to tweak here? What do I need to change here? And it's this one word on my website. And you're like, nobody's going to notice this.
no one, no one is noticing it, but it makes us feel that little semblance of control in that moment, right? Oh, I did something. I pushed, I did something productive, and it's probably a matter of letting go. That's what I've experienced anyway. Every single time I've taken my foot off the gas, dropped the pressure, let go, and also like really, and I wonder if this is true for you as well, sometimes looked around and been like, well, what is the actual capacity that I have? And am I calling this in because I really want it, or do I feel like I need it? And what am I
Right?
trying,
Am I
like,
in that
you know what
survival
I mean?
space? Right? Or I can relate so much to that. And it's so interesting. I'm in this like really cool bubble of time right now where things are sort of falling into place really quickly. And I'm like, whoa. There's a lot going
Amazing.
on. But it was because I let go of the outcome. And I made this internal decision to just do me, just move
Yes.
forward and do what feels right in this moment, in this present moment. And the second I started moving from that space, it's kind of like the universe is like, okay, she's ready. We can move forward
Yes.
now. And I
Yes.
think we need that gentle reminder sometimes where the most powerful space we can really be in is right here, because that's where we can create and do all of these things that we're envisioning over there in the future.
100%. And like, it's that you just put it so beautifully. And also, I know that sometimes hearing that is the most frustrating thing when you're in the grips of like control,
It's the
right?
worst. Don't tell me to be patient.
Or like, just let go of the outcome. You're like, but I want it. Like, I really, really want it. And it's like, it's funny because, yeah, I sometimes I think you do really have to just let that clingy energy like be there for a second and move through it and not even try. Because then sometimes you're putting the pressure on yourself to be in the place of letting go. And it's like, oh my
Right?
God, it's life
But you said something
business.
actually that really kind of brings it back together with looking at yourself of why am I gripping? What am I trying to control right now? Right? And let me look at actually this, because there's something here that's keeping me here that I need to work through and evolve from before I can do anything else. So I think
Yeah.
that that's really good that you said that, because it's true. I feel like it's always just a constant reminder to come back to the self, you know?
I had at the start of this year the most intense, like dark night of the soul that I've ever had in my entire life. It was so earth shattering, like total tower moment. And
Wow.
at the same time, I was like, where are my clients? And it's like, girl,
You were going through it.
you like, please. And it was really a beautiful experience because I did all the work that was necessary. I slowed right down. I, stopped using things as a crutch, like using my spiritual practices as a crutch and being like, okay, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. I have to wake up and
Okay.
do my meditation, and then I have to do my tapping, and then I have to do my journaling. And it's like I wasn't even present for it. And so I dropped a lot of the control in those areas. And when I started dropping control in those areas, it was easier to drop control in other areas. And when I came out of the other side of that, everything flowed. And I was like,
Wow.
oh,
What do you think really helped you move through that?
support. I think Stephanie was an incredible support in that moment, being seen and understood.
Stephanie is her
by
amazing
someone.
wife, by the way, y'all.
Yeah, my Aries baby. But aside from that, really honestly, what I said before was letting go of everything that I thought that was going to fix me, letting go of the notion that I needed to be fixed, and like really working through moving out of shame and guilt into compassion and acceptance. And I did that in lots of different ways. I did therapy. I did a lot of cold plunges, sauna work, tapping, hypno, like, but not in a rigid way, not in a like, I have to do this because it's going to make the difference. It was more like flowy, see when it felt good. But it was really a lot of patience.
What a triple water sign statement.
Honestly.
I was just going with the flow, you know?
Yeah, but that doesn't
It's so true, though. It's
It's not natural to me. Like, it is natural to me, but it is always the thing that I have to like. I think the other day I was physically looking run down, and Stephanie looked at me and went, "You're sick. Go to bed," and put me in bed. And I need sometimes someone to put me in bed, and it's a good reminder to put myself to bed sometimes. But yeah, I am. I don't know if it was Natalia who spoke on this, or maybe a different coach, but I'm that really great example of like, you know, how the opposite is the medicine. I don't need to be pushed, or I don't need to be activated, or I don't need to be given strategy. I actually need to be told to slow down, surrender, and rest. And I feel like maybe this is resonant for you too. Just
yes,
a little.
I am. It is true. I am, you know, a survivor of burnout. Multiple times.
Right? We were in it at the same time.
I know.
This year. We were both like,
so
girl, are you
true.
stopping? Stop. Please stop. I beg.
That's so true. We were going through it. Wow. Look at us now.
I know. Shiny.
Wow. Y'all, you can get through the dark night.
You can.
It's possible, but it is usually a lot of slowing down, you know? And I'm so curious too, how does spirituality tie into your life? Was that also from just like growing up with your mom who's a yoga teacher and this like art space? Where does this come together?
Oh, I love this question so much. Look, I think that if it's kind of safe to say, if you are as a child obsessed with fairies and then you transition into a teenager who's obsessed with vampires, there's like a pretty good chance that you're going to be spiritual, right? The fairy to vampire to spiritual pipeline is like, it's
okay. Yes, mine was Harry Potter.
Yep, that too. Like everything fantasy. My dad read me Lord of the Rings when I was The Hobbit. No, he read me The Hobbit when I was really little. So I just like, I've always been fascinated with zodiac signs. I've always been fascinated with spirituality, with I've got a lot of 8th house placements.
Okay.
I've got a
Can you share what the 8th house is?
Yes. So the 8th house, I was there, babe. I've got them. I've got you guys. 8th house is very much about the taboo. So like occult, like sex, death, like hidden, subterranean. I feel like they're those like dark spiritual themes. I remember before I knew a lot about astrology, I posted something that was like a bit like provocative and dark, and someone who I knew who knew astrology messaged me and was like, what I don't understand, like, what do you have stuff in the 8th house? And I was like, yeah, my moon, my Mars, my north node. And they were like, oh, makes sense.
Oh my
they just
gosh.
read me.
Wow. I was like, oh, you do have a stacked 8th house.
Stacked. Like, okay.
Wow. Wait, what are your top 3?
So I'm a Cancer sun, Pisces moon, Cancer rising.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And sorry, I'm about to go down the rabbit hole in my brain with astrology.
Do it. I want to go.
I love that we are both so obsessed with astrology. And I also was so curious. Do you use astrology with your clients too? When they say something and you're like, let me look at your chart.
I do. And also what I do is when I take on a new client, I do a
Yeah.
birth chart reading for them. And it's kind of for them and for me, because I like to just reference and be like, okay, cool, great. Yeah, I love to use it for that. Absolutely. Do you? Surely.
I do. And Elixir and my the 8-week program, and then with my private clients, I have like a 3-month container that I do, and it's so funny. I was just talking to a new client yesterday, and they were sharing just what they're moving through and their thought process and how they see things, and I was just staring at them, and I'm like, "You have a lot of Virgo placements," and they were like, "I am a Virgo," and I was just thinking, "Oh, I cannot wait to read your chart."
You can pick Virgo energy, huh? Like you
Yes,
really
I'm a Virgo
can.
rising too, so I feel like it's a little cheat code when I see
I
another
love it.
Virgo or their archetypes, their energies.
So good. I'm having, okay. There's something I want to talk to you about. This is the segue because I'm having actually a lot of Virgo energy come into my life at the moment. Have you gone through periods of time, or is there like a specific time in your life where you've cut out a lot of a specific sign and a new sign has come into your orbit?
Ooh, that's a great question. I would say I'm such a homebody.
You're like,
It's
what
hard for
people?
new signs to come into my life.
Got it. Got it.
But I would say, interestingly enough, yes, because I have had a lot of fire placements come into my life recently within the past year. And I don't necessarily ever have fire placements in my life.
They're entering.
And I think that that's replacing some of the air signs that have been in my life. They kind of did a little swapperoonie on me.
Yeah.
But it's been fun. I kind of like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because your Cancer sun, and then what's your moon again?
I'm an Aquarius moon and then the Virgo rising.
Fun. Yeah, got it. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, I mean, I think that, I mean, I'm so biased because of Stephanie, obviously, but I just love Cancerian Aries energy together. Like, yes, we're both cardinal, which is like a bossy energy almost. Like, I'm right. No, I'm right. But like, there's something so fun about it, and almost like, I don't know, it's like a sexy butting of heads. Like, that's how I would describe it.
Wait, how did you and Stephanie meet?
Yeah. Okay. Every time I go to tell the story, I'm like, do I need a glass of wine? But no, I'm actually stopping. I had a very, this is a segue as well, but I will just share it with you. I don't often get downloads in the way of like, oh, the voice told me this, spirit told me this.
Yeah.
I kid you not, just before eclipse season, which is moving through my 6th house, which is daily habits, daily life. I woke up, it was like 4 a.m. and I had a voice say, which is so rare for me. Actually, it's going to get, I'm manifesting, it's going to get more and more frequent. But I had a voice say, you're about to enter a new era of health. And I was like,
Okay.
I mean, I was like, do I need to do anything?
Right.
Does this involve me doing things, or can I just like sit back and enjoy it? Anyway, of course it does involve me doing things, but I was like, oh, I need to, alcohol's gotta go.
Wow.
Time to
Amazing.
go.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, I need a glass of wine. But then I was like, but then I don't. Also
But
because
actually,
I don't. I need a kombucha.
right.
But
wait, so sorry. What the eclipse is.
yeah.
So it's your 6th and your 12th. And I love that you're doing this hypnotherapy training
Babe,
with the eclipses
it's
going on your 12th.
I don't think I've even shown you the astrology. Okay, one of my favorite astrologers, she's Australian. Her name's Kay Astrology. She does horoscopes every month on YouTube. She's incredible. Oh my God, I'm getting shivers. When I applied for the scholarship, the astrology for that month for me, Cancer Rising, it was literally, I have the transcript. It said, scholarships, you'll receive scholarships, and you'll be starting new careers in, she had a list of 3. One of them was hypnotherapy.
Wow.
I was like,
oh my gosh. All right. Here we go.
Yeah.
Buckle up.
So that was the other thing, is that I was like, well, when I study hypno, I want to be the clearest channel. I want to be
Yeah.
so centered. I don't want any, and having like a Pisces moon in the 8th house, like substances, it's time to
Yeah.
just move along, right? Because a little bit of escapism, yeah, I don't need it. So, okay, the Stephanie story. So it's so
Yes.
beautiful. Okay, so I did reality TV. I did Married at First Sight. It was a total disaster, as most reality TV is. The beautiful thing was that it got me a Instagram following of queer people, because I was the first lesbian bride. So that was really beautiful. And then after the show aired, we went into COVID.
The timing, I tell you.
So yeah, we went into COVID, and I was like, what can I do to like bond the queer community during this time? And Netflix they launched this link where you could send a link and you could all watch a movie together with a chat room.
I remember that.
Right?
Yes.
It was called Netflix Party, a Netflix party. So I was like, oh, I'm going to do this for sure. So I put it on my story. I was like, okay, everyone vote. The choices were Call Me By Your Name or Below Her Mouth. And because, my following is like horny lesbians, they were like, yep, let's go for Below Her Mouth. That sounds great.
I knew you were going to say that.
Right? Have you seen the movie?
No.
Put it on the list.
Okay,
It's
done.
a steamy watch.
Ooh.
So,
okay, sold.
Right? Okay. So the thing is, when you do reality TV in Australia, the Daily Mail writes about everything that you do for a year. So the next morning, they're like, Tash Hers, my last name was Hers at the time, Tash Hers watches raunchy lesbian movie with fans. And I was like, oh, God.
Okay.
So anyway, here's the plot twist, is that Stephanie actually wrote that movie. And
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a good one. So they were in LA at the time, and they had got a Google alert about their movie, and they saw the article, and they'd posted it and tagged me, and they were like, this is why I created this movie, was to bring queer people together and foster a sense of community. So thanks for sharing. And I woke up and was like, whoa, that's cool. Like, I was such a fan of the movie. So I was like, that's so awesome. And I wrote to Steph and I was like, I really love your movie. Thank you so much. And thanks for sharing this. And I sent them a video recording of everyone voting for the movie. It really did win by a landslide. And Stephanie was like, oh, thank you so much. And it was that's it. That's all it was. That was the only interaction. And then, I was in a relationship. Stephanie was in a relationship. We didn't speak. I was moving through some things, definitely, post being on reality TV. And
I can't even
then
imagine.
I will say they did pay for my therapy, which
Okay.
that's actually like from
That's
all
something.
the other stuff I hear, I'm like, well, they did give me a year of therapy, which I thought was, I will give them that.
Cool.
So, So then a couple of months go past. I am drunk on my Instagram story doing a roast of the zodiac signs. shock horror with my friend Hope. We're at a bar, we're drinking, and we're just trashing each sign. And I had just had a situation with an Aries, so I was like, Aries are vile. And Stephanie, being an Aries, wrote back to that and said, rude. And I was like, perfect. I love that. I was like, okay, we can play. So we started like chit-chatting, bantering. Stephanie's actually born on the same day as my dad. So
wow.
My dad's like one of my favorite people ever. I absolutely love March 23rd Aries. So yeah. And then another crazy thing, actually, I will just share, is that Stephanie is the third twin that I've been with in a row. I was dating a girl, Cancerian girl, that had a twin fraternal brother, and then my next partner had a like non-identical twin sister, and then Stephanie has an identical twin. So I was like,
What is
that
with
is
you and twins?
where is like, is there something in my astrology? Like, is it the Gemini? Like,
Right?
and they're both Gemini rising. It's so wild. And they're Pisces moon. So yeah.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we started talking. Stephanie thought that I was, what did she think? She thought I was British and I was bisexual living in the UK because of the Daily Mail. And I was like,
Oh my gosh.
actually, I'm an Australian lesbian, but let's move on. So we started talking, and then it was very flirty, and then we moved to like voice notes, and Stephanie one day sent me a voice note in Italian because they're Italian. And I went running into the restaurant that I worked at because lots of Italian people worked there. I was like, translate it. And they'd said, every day I dream of you more and more. And I was like, that's it for me. Like, just hooked. So
You're
then
like,
we did.
I'm on my way.
Oh, well, and that's the kicker, right? Because all of this happened in the middle of COVID. Stephanie lives in Canada. I was never planning on going to Canada.
Opposites.
Opposite ends of the world. And so we did, never having met, committed for 10 months, fully
Wow.
like a FaceTime relationship. It was wild. And then I sold everything I owned and broke my lease, and Stephanie got me into Canada. And even though the pandemic was on, like, oh, it was no easy feat. And yeah, I came over. I was meant to stay for 4 months, ended up staying for 10. And then
my gosh.
Stephanie proposed. And then we went to Australia and got married in 2022. I'm
Oh
kicking
my
my feet under the
gosh.
table.
I love this. Oh, that's so magical. I also love that there was a whole timeline throughout all of this. You know, it wasn't just all at once. It was just these little sprinkles here and there that just kept growing into this whole flower garden of love. I love
Yeah.
it so much.
It
Oh,
felt very fated because so many things had to line up for that to have
Yeah.
even happen. And yeah, it's really special. I'm very like blessed and lucky, and yeah, just happy.
I'm happy for you. I love this so much.
It's a cute love story. Like I'm
Yeah.
always like proud of our love story, and it's unique because we really had to survive on emotional intimacy. And it's
Yeah.
funny because I always said through the whole period of time, if one of my friends had come to me and explained the situation that I was in to me, and they were like, "This is what I'm going to do," I would have been like, "You're bonkers."
Absolutely not.
What about the energy? You don't know the energy. Like, anyway,
Yeah.
but I do
That's
feel
so
like
interesting because I'm thinking about when me and my ex were doing long distance when I first moved up here to Washington. And I had this exact conversation with him when I was sharing. We don't have physical contact, right? We don't have spending every day together. We have these random moments where we wake up together, we go to bed together. All we have is our communication.
yeah.
That is, the whole relationship is tied to
Yes.
the level of communication that you can have with your partner, right?
Exactly.
And I remember you writing something about like astrology as a love language, and just even looking at like his Mercury sign, how does he communicate, at, you know, his Venus sign, what really sparks him and lights him up. And I think that there's really something to that. Wait, can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I love that so much. I definitely like, and it's so interesting because Stephanie and I are so emotionally bonded because we both have a Pisces moon. But our Mercuries, I'm a Gemini Mercury and Stephanie is a Pisces Mercury. And they are very different, like extremely
Wow.
different ways of communicating. And, you know, it's taught, I think, both of us a lot. There'll be times where I'll be like, okay, I don't know what that means. It sounds beautiful, but I don't logically understand what you're saying. And I'm sure that there are times when Stephanie is like, please stop being so logical and like fast.
Right.
And because I'm fast thinking, fast processing, and Stephanie's very like dreamy and floaty. And so it's been really interesting to learn how each other communicates, because that is, I would say, the point in our charts that is the biggest learning curve for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm always so grateful for that. I think having the same moon sign as someone is such a gift to be seen in that emotional vulnerability for each other is really, really special. So yeah. And then what else have we got going on? I think we're both air Venuses. Stephanie is a Aquarius Venus and I'm a Gemini Venus. I think you're a Gemini Venus too, aren't you?
I'm a Cancer Venus.
Oh, Cancer. That's so sweet. I love that. That's so nurturing.
I'm like, let me cook for you. Let me make our house a home. Let me cuddle you. And my Aquarius moon is like, ew, what is going on here?
Your Aquarius moon is like, please go into the other room.
Right?
So
I'm going to cook, but like, don't talk to me while I cook.
Right? Yes. Don't look at me. Don't perceive me. I don't need it. I don't want it. And that's so interesting because, yeah, I do feel that because we both have air Venuses, having our space and time, we can really give that to each other, and then we can come together emotionally and be so loving and present and vulnerable. But Stephanie works as a screenwriter. It requires them to retreat into this dream world of creativity. And likewise, like, I need that time with my spirituality and my creativity as well. So we give each other a lot of space. And I would say that I think it's beneficial having two air Venus signs. How do you find having an Aquarius moon?
It's really confusing.
Yeah.
It's very confusing because I have my Cancer sun, right? I mean, emotions are all around me, but my Aquarius moon is very intellectual and sees things from a detached space. So I see, and then my Virgo rising doesn't help, but it's seeing things as they are. And a perfect example is like going through my breakup, right? I see what happened. I understand what happened. And then my emotions are bubbling up and I'm like, ugh, like, what do I do with all this? Ew, gross.
Those pesky feelings.
I'm ready to move on from this. And so
logically,
it's really,
intellectually.
Yeah, logically, intellectually, I get it. I understand. But emotions are just asunder at all times. And so I've really, really had to be intentional with how I process my emotions, because it's not a typical thing for me to do, like by crying it out all the time or anything like that. Like, I personally, I have to move my body. So I have to go. I love mat Pilates, like hot mat Pilates. Throw me in that class. I want to die a little bit. I'm on it. And I do like to just lay on the mat.
But you're lying on the floor.
Sometimes.
It's the best. You know? I love, I'm right there with you. I wish we lived in the same city, truly. Like,
I know.
I love hot mat Pilates because there's something about it that's like, your brain kind of goes, all you need to do is go in the room and lay on the mat. And then I work my ass off once I'm there, but I'm like, I don't even need to be standing. What a treat. Like, it's just, it's such a good workout. Oh, I'm right there with you.
It is. Oh my gosh. So that's really how I work through my emotions, is through movement and breath work. Which I learned that, is it my Mars is really good for figuring out good outlets for just emotional expression. And so my Mars is in Leo. And just,
That's
like
nice
the physicality of it. And it is, until you realize that it's in my 12th house. You're like, that's
right.
lame.
12th house placements. It's a thing.
12
12th house placements.
I feel is hard to wrap your brain around, right? Because it's the subconscious underworld, the things that we can't see but are so deep within us. And to have this active planet of Mars that's like, let's go, action, movement in this underworld depth place. It can be a little confusing sometimes.
Yeah. I can see that. It's funny how that happens sometimes. The zodiac is at odds with the house almost. They're like very different energies. And so finding that like balancing place. I know I read once, because my son's in the 12th, and it said that my identity is often hidden from me on some level. And I think where that comes out for me is when I'm feeling something, but I don't know what it is for a moment. And it can take me a second to like understand it. So I have the emotions, but I'm like, I don't understand what it is or why it's there. And also I think sometimes when people reflect things back to me, I'm like, oh wow, you really see me like that in a positive way. Like
Yeah.
it makes me go, oh, you're having a different experience of me than I have of myself sometimes. Does that make sense?
Wow. It does. And I'm so curious, how does that show up within your business? Do you feel like it can be challenging for you to express yourself in that way because of this interesting, not a disconnect, but just two different perspectives, I guess, you know?
You know, I'm going to pull from a human design a little bit here because being a manifestor, which is like, and especially if you look at all of my other human designs, I'm basically like, I really am here to provoke. And so a lot of the time when I'm delivering a message, I have two things. I have the manifestor wound of, does this make sense? Do I have enough wisdom? Am I being coherent? Are people understanding? And then the other thing with manifestors is you really do have to lean into, and this is probably 12th house astrology, and that's why I have this, but yeah, you have to just be able to be misunderstood. The thing is that I would say the only place that really comes out is comes up for me is with my content and being online. But with my clients, the focus is so purely on them and their experience that
Okay.
I'm not worrying too much about myself.
That makes sense. I love your content, by the way. I love every time it shows
yours.
up on my feed. I'm like, oh, it's Tashi time.
Honestly, like I have one sitting in the wings that I think is like a little bit controversial, but I don't care, whatever. Stick it to the patriarchy. But I have to tell you, it's so, okay, I have the same urge to write the same comments so many times. I think I've already written it on one of your reels, but it's just like, you know, when it's just like brain vomit. Like every time I see one of your insanely beautiful reels, I want to write, this looks photoshopped. I'm sure I have already written it, but I think it every time. I'm like, this is so aesthetically pleasing for me. And I almost need to consume it twice, once to just look and be like, wow, entranced. And then the other time to actually listen to what you're saying. Because it is also just as potent, but whoa, like I'm just in awe of where you live.
I love it here. I'm so happy that I'm here. I honestly can't even imagine having moved through the end of my relationship in a city that I wasn't happy in. Like, I love this place so much. I get it. I get why I was called to be here and to step into this new phase of my life. And I just feel held by all the nature. It's a really good feeling. I just walk outside and just the smell of the trees, and walking down my street and I pass 10 different types of trees and I've only taken a few steps, and I'm in a happy place for sure.
I'm so glad. And honestly, I just like through internet osmosis, I'm like taking in the nature healing vibes. Like that is, you do you get the sense that you're like exactly where you're meant to be right now?
Definitely. Why? Don't know yet.
It's okay. That becomes.
At this point, I'm just here letting all of these different experiences kind of fall into my lap and see where they take me, because it's kind of nice. When you were saying before about how there was this period of time where you're thinking, where are the clients? What's going on? That happened to me when I first moved here. It was just crickets. And it took me a minute to realize, oh, this actually is happening for a reason. I need to do some work on my life, like in my personal life, in my relationship. And the second all of this happened, everything picked up again.
Yeah.
You know,
it's always something that we need to embody, or a lesson that we need to integrate, or something that we need to shift so that we can up level. Like, that's always, it's never the Instagram bio. It's
Yeah.
never it's never the content. It's never the sales page. Like
No.
it's always internal. It just is.
Yeah, it's so true. Wow. And so with your up level coaching working that you're doing, you're in your hypnotherapy training right now. How is that going?
So, okay, how beautiful is this? This is why it was just aligned timing with the
Yeah.
like stepping away from alcohol. I had that download. I was like, okay, well, I'm starting hypno level 1 and level 2 training in November, so I'll cut out
Okay.
drinking then. And then the next day, I get an email from Leo being like, okay, so everyone who did my essentials course, which was what got me into studying hypno, everyone who did my essentials course and who's doing my practitioner training, I'm starting my essentials course again. And if you want to join for free, you absolutely can. And I was like, I will take any access to that man's wisdom. He is so special and so, he brings so much levity to trauma informed healing. And I can't believe that's like a thing. It's incredible. But
Wow.
so I was like, oh, guess I'm going to take that step away from alcohol right now because I'm getting straight back into it. So
Wow.
it's also a beautiful experience because the first time, type A, notes the whole time. And now I'm just like, just going to sit back and absorb. It's like,
Right.
it's just such a gift. So yeah, I'm just doing a little refresher of the essentials course, and then we kick off in November studying level 1, which is all memory-based healing, inner child work, parts work. And then we have, I think it's like maybe a week or 2 break, and then we get it into level 2, which is like entity removal, past life regression, like all of that. I'm like, give me level 2. I am ready for level 2. I'm reading all the level 2 books like a psychopath. I should be reading the level 1 ones, but I'm like, I want to read the spiritual releasement manual.
Right.
Like, it's so beautiful. And it was one of those moments where it was so weird. I kept walking past this hypnotist center brick and mortar thing in my old neighborhood, and I was really drawn to it. And then I loved Leo's hypnos in Natalia's membership,
Yes.
obviously. And then I felt I was like, oh, I think I like really want to do this. Like, I think I really want to study it. And I remember there was a bit of it was almost when something's so aligned and is going to make such a big impact in your life and your work.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of fear where I was like, whoa, this is like a big up level. But what I was noticing, my clients get the most beautiful, incredible results. They are so like powerful, soul-led women, and I have no notes. They are doing incredible work with me. And at the same time, I want to provide a deeper level of subconscious healing. And I remember I started to say to Stephanie before I was even thinking about hypno, I started to say, I think I want another modality because there's something that I just want to get in there deeper. I want to go subterranean. Eighth house. I'm like, how can I dig in? Like, what is that? So yeah, that's my rant.
I can totally relate with that. That's how I feel about astrology. I'm doing the 3rd level training with Mia French, who's also going to be on the pod. So excited. I love her astrology, who is also
Amazing.
Australian. So funny.
Yes, I did follow her after you told me about her.
Yes, yes. And so I totally understand that feeling where you're thinking there's this piece that kind of brings it all together, right?
Yeah.
And I love when that comes because it really is so inspiring. It kind of reinvigorates your passion and your love for what you do. And that's just so exciting. How does it feel to be in this space where you've moved through all of these different careers and things that you've done in your life, and now you have what you're creating now?
I think it feels like all of this is a culmination of all of the work that I've done on myself over the past few years, because I definitely would say who I was when I was in Australia compared to who I am now, vastly different, vastly different. It's crazy. Like,
Wow.
yeah, so I just feel like a more empowered, emboldened version, and at the same time more tender, more vulnerable, more soft. And I feel the one thing I will say for me, I said this to someone else today actually. It's funny. There's always the synchronicities. Because I'm a 4/1 in human design, I have a fixed fate. And so I really see this in that when I decide something, I am not moved. Like, I cannot be influenced. There is no one, I don't care for anyone else's opinion.
Yeah.
I am like, this is what I'm doing and this is what I believe in and this is what is happening. And I just can't be swayed. And that is very much how I feel about my business. You know, I think it was like a week after graduating, the universe always likes to give us a little test. And I went to a dinner and there was a woman there who'd had tried to be a life coach, and she was like, oh yeah, it doesn't work. You never get any clients. It's not, it's
Man,
really
that's a
hard.
whole
And
another episode talking about tests.
right? That's another hour right there.
Right? Gosh.
And I was like, you know, all it did was it made me furious. I was so indignant. I was like, well, that's not going to happen to me. I was like, I'm going to make this work. I don't care. I don't care if I like wait for a year to get a client. I don't care. And it's like, I think my favorite thing about my coaching business is that my clients, and I just have an intuitive feeling that this would be the same for you, like my clients stay. They come in and they stay. Like one of my clients, she was my first ever pro bono client, and we've been working together in a paid capacity for going on 2 years now. She's on her
Wow.
5th series with me. And I just
love
think
that.
that is the most beautiful thing to me. I would rather have very select, ongoing, deep, meaningful relationships with my clients than have a lot and be churning out like quick fixes. I'm not interested in that.
100%.
I do
100% agree.
think, right? I know, I knew it. I was like, Bethany is vibing this,
Right?
but
I'm trying to dig deep forever. Y'all are stuck with me.
100%.
Maybe
Let's
it's
go on a
our Cancer
journey.
clause. We're like,
I think
stay
it
with
is.
us.
I think it is. We're like, I'm clinging. But I think that's the beautiful thing about hypno, though, is it actually will allow me to serve more people, because hypno, you don't need 3 weeks. So if someone
Yeah.
was coming to me just for hypnotherapy, it would be a shorter thing. But the thing I'm really excited about, and this is what Leo once said, he was like, yeah, I can ask you a question and you can give me an answer, and I can ask you the same question in trance and you're going to give me a different answer. And I was like, oh my God,
Wow.
so I'm like, I want my clients to do, if they're open to it, I would love to blend coaching and hypno. So do a hypnotherapy session as the first session and then lead that into coaching to do integration. That is my dream. Like, that is my
Yes.
goal.
I see
That
it.
is what I want.
I see it.
Yeah.
Yep. That makes complete sense. Oh my gosh. So that's really exciting. And I would love to just kind of finish up by hearing, how can anybody work with you?
Yeah.
What kind of offerings do you have for us?
Absolutely. So right now I've got my 3-month coaching series available. That it is going to be limited spaces because I'm going to be studying. So I want to really be focused deeply on that. But I probably have room for 1 or 2 people right now to come in. So there's 2 different options. You can do a VIP identity upgrade, which is weekly sessions. We always start off with like a big juicy 90-minute call because I want to get in there. I want to talk astrology. I want to like really set some incredible goals. And then there's another option that is bi-weekly. And then I think I am going to start kicking off some monthly group hypnosis sessions soon, which are donation based. So
I'll be there.
yeah, I would love to have you there. I've been doing them, I've been doing some moon rituals, and I think I want to strip it back and have it be maybe moon themed hypnosis, but yeah, just a monthly hypno group because that is what brings me so much joy. And
Yeah.
oh my God, yeah,
Wow, I just saw
I
it.
love it.
The moon themed hypno groups. I love that because it's directly tied to the energies of whatever's coming up during that time. And
Right?
it's just basically, all right, this is what's coming up. Let's dig in and see what's getting in the way, you know?
Yes, exactly. That, or like, even just like, there's always collective themes. You know what I mean? And yeah, so I think I'm still just playing with it. We also moved recently, so I'm like, okay, let's get the move down. But yeah, there's hypnosis to come for sure, group hypnosis monthly. And then yeah, my private coaching.
Beautiful. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for taking some time to connect with me. I love spending time with you and chatting with you and getting in your DMs whenever I can just to
Say it, say it. Say it, be
just
real.
to shoot the shit.
I have to tell you,
It's
like,
great.
your Instagram message this morning was like the best thing ever. Can we play it? I'm going to play it. You stay there. I'm getting my phone. Because it was so funny and everyone needs to hear it.
This is hilarious, y'all. I am a very, if you don't know already,
Bethany's
I try to
getting
have a positive
outed.
mind all the time.
Okay,
And then-
wait.
Natasha just gets my brain dumps.
Oh, okay. It's the best voice memo I've ever received. Let's see if it picks it up.
OMG, we're recording tomorrow.
That demon giggle at the end. All right, I'm putting you back in my ears. It just
I love
absolutely sent me. I loved it. Honestly, can I just say, like, thank you for having me. It's a really crazy thing. I feel, and this sounds cliche, but I feel like we've known each other for so long. There's definitely some like past life stuff going on there.
For sure.
So,
Because from day one, we're just like,
could not be shut up if we tried. Like, it was impossible. It was so great.
yeah. So thank you so much for coming on too. I'm so excited for your episode to launch and for people to just get to see a completely beautiful side of you that I can see because as a projector, I see you.
You're a projector. I love
And I'm just so excited
projectors.
that for everyone to see what I see in you. And I think that it's so beautiful that you've found this passion for empowering other women into just up-leveling into the best version of themselves, you know, and I see that with how you carry yourself and in your own life. And I think is such a huge testament to everyone that gets to work with you too, you know?
Yeah. Thank you so much. I really received
All
that.
right.
That was beautiful.
Yay.
All right,
Thank
my
you so
darling.
much. Have a
you for
magical day,
having
and
me.
everyone, we will catch you in the next episode.